really, we're the only two that know what we're going through. We're the two that love her the most. My sister has completely stepped up to the plate. Good morning. My daughter's father showed up around 10 last night. Wow, that didn't sound good. I didn't get much sleep. I didn't get much sleep because we talked quite a bit about our daughter. It's nice to talk to the other parent because what we're going through, we're the two that love her the most, right? So and we're both parents, so we get what each other's going through. So it is nice to connect like that. And so he's staying with my boyfriend and I. We all get along. Like, I get along with his wife. So it all works out well. We all do what's in my daughter's best interest. He's up here because he has to get some things done for his mom, who's not doing well, and his sister's not doing well. But he was hoping to visit with our daughter, and of course she isn't going to be available because she's sitting in the emergency behavioral unit. I called them last night after work just to see if there was any change, and they said they had to lock her down, I guess, because she was being she was disturbing the other the other patients. And then I spoke to my sister for like 2 hours last night, and she had gone and really cleaned out my mom's house, but she was trying, she had my daughter in mind when she did it, trying to make like a nice quiet room for her if she wanted to get away. Like, my sister has completely stepped up to the plate as far as being supportive, and she's really supporting my daughter, and I can't tell you how it just makes me, I always love her, but of course it just brings it to this other level of respect, because it means a lot to me that she is prioritizing my daughter. And even said, like, if my daughter, well, I'm pretty sure she's not going to make it for Christmas, which we were all hoping for, but she's like, we'll come back and we'll do it when she's able to, and we won't call it Christmas because it'll be weird, but we can all get together and she can open her presents. And she told me of this like really thoughtful gift that she got from my daughter, actually for all of us, and I guess I can say it. She got 4 lamps. So a lamp for me, a lamp for her family, a lamp for my mom, and a lamp for my daughter. And I guess they all connect, so you can, when you're thinking about the person, you can turn that person's lamp on and they know you're thinking about them, which I thought was just so thoughtful and considerate, and I love that idea. And then I had actually bought, I went on Etsy and got these little bluebird emblem. They're just little pendants that you can either put on a necklace or you could put on a keychain. But I thought, oh, I bought 4 of them for the same people because of an incident that had happened at the house when we were visiting my sister for Thanksgiving. We saw a bluebird, and they've never seen a bluebird. I don't think I'd ever seen an actual bluebird, but my dad loved bluebirds, and right before he passed, I think his last picture that he painted was of a bluebird. So, and my daughter is the one that saw the bluebird, so she saw it out my sister's window and was like, hey, look at that bird. And we were all like, oh my gosh, like, we really felt it was a sign. And so I got these 4 pendants of bluebirds, and I thought, oh, what would be cool is if we attach them to the lamp somehow. Her dad and I just kind of talked to like 11, probably 11:30, so I feel like I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. And then, so it'll be interesting, but I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm just, I hope that, I hope things are gonna turn out the way they're supposed to, and I'm still believing that, and yeah, so I'm gonna run in, but hopefully I'll find out more today, and I will chime in. The social worker did call. I asked about the state hospital, and she said she was putting in our referral. For some reason, I thought they had already done that, but I guess they can't do that. They couldn't do it from the emergency unit, so I don't know. The whole thing's weird. The place that she lives now is not equipped to take care of her, obviously. I mean, she's been in the hospital probably more than she's been there. I do think that staff could have been more engaging with my daughter and helping her find things to do. Not just let her sit in her room day after day or wander the streets. So, but other than that, I understand that the responsibility is on my daughter for the most part, but when she is going through psychosis, she does not know what she's doing. She's broken a lot of the rules. So I don't know. I don't know that they would have her back. We have a meeting tomorrow with somebody from the state, and I don't even know what that, I think it's the person at the state that's in charge of residential places or something. I don't know. There's no openings anywhere, and I'm just afraid. I don't want them to put her in a place that's going to be worse than where she's at. It's not like other services where you can kind of pick and choose what you want. Like, it's not like putting someone in the nursing home and you're going from the different nursing homes to check out which one's the best fit. Or I feel like it's like prison. If there's no room in that jail, they'll put you in another jail, whatever the closest one is that has an opening. They don't really take what they need for care into consideration, and I don't know that there's any blame for that, because there's just more people that need these services than providers and housing or placements that provide the services. There's two ladies that work there that her dad and I have become, or one in particular that we've become quite close to. She's been there since day one. I remember when I dropped my daughter off, she was there. She helped me through the process. She's been very helpful for my daughter, and her last day is tomorrow. She just sent us a text, but what was cool is she sent us a text from her personal phone saying who she was, and this is her personal phone, and she just wanted to be able to keep in contact. So I thought that was pretty great. That means that there are staff that really genuinely do care, and I think most do, but anyway, that was pretty cool. And so we will keep her informed, and she's like, if you ever need help with anything, let me know. And I mean, how nice is that? She's not even going to be working there anymore. So my daughter's doing okay. She still has very, they keep saying it's not confusing thoughts. It's anyway, she's not making a lot of sense in what she says. I took the morning off, told work I'd be in at 11 because I had a meeting with the residential home, and my daughter's dad, and what was supposed to be the state worker representative who is in charge of all PNMIs, and that the state representative didn't show up. But it's kind of a funny story, because yesterday I decided to reach out to the prior director. I just reached out to check in and see if she knew anything about the state hospital and other maybe PNMIs, residential treatment programs where my daughter might be able to go or whatever. But when she replied, she copied me on this person, and this person is the same person who was supposed to be in the meeting yesterday. So the person in charge of all PNMIs throughout the state, that's who she copied me on, and then that person wrote back to me, and this was by the end of the day, I said, oh, well, I think we have a meeting with the residential placement tomorrow morning, so that'll be great. But I never heard back, and she never showed up for the meeting. And I noticed that the new director, it's a male, he had put the wrong person on the meeting. He had put somebody else from like the same company that he works from, but in a different state. So it was the same first name but different last name. So I think he did not invite the person he was supposed to, basically, and I'll find out when I go back to work, because I'm sure I'll have an email back. But I don't know if that made sense. I hope so. But anyway, the whole point of the conversation is, what's the best placement for our daughter if she does not get into the state psychiatric hospital? PNMI, and I'll put it up because I can't think right offhand exactly what it stands for, but basically it's residential housing or programs for people with mental illness. There's 5 levels of security. So where my daughter's at now is level 4, and what she needs is a level 5. So where she's at now, they have a staff on site all the time. They have treatment team on site, but she can come and go as she pleases. Whereas she really needs a place where it's kind of a locked facility, basically, that she can go out at certain times. But, and I mean, I hate to say that, but that's what everyone agrees that would be in her best interest. They're keeping her spot where she's at because we were pretty lucky to get that, because where she's at is one of 2, I think, in the whole state that gears towards my daughter's age group. So we felt really fortunate to get in there, but the problem with that place is they've had such a turnover, and they're not fully staffed, and they're not really delivering what they promised, so to speak. And it's not really a fault of their own. It's the way life is right now. Can't find anyone to work. People keep quitting. So I'm not placing blame. I'm just saying it's a circumstance. So we are really at this holding spot where we don't know where our daughter would be a best fit, or where we could even get her in. If they say they're keeping their place open, the hospital social worker isn't going to do her job, because she's going to say, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to send her back there and let them do it. And that's what I don't want to see happen. I'd really like to see everybody looking for the right placement. And I know the way the system works, and I don't see that happening if you give somebody an out. So I'm hoping she did put in a referral to the state hospital. I don't know that there's any way to know for sure. She said she would, so let's hope so. The other thing I wanted to say real quick before I run in is that I got a call from my daughter yesterday, and it just warmed my heart. It was a voicemail, and she told me she loved me and missed me. I mean, she had an agitated voice, but she loved me and missed me, and wish I would save her, get her out of there, because she says they're locking her in the dark, and she's having a hard time breathing, and she's going through psychosis. I mean, I know what she's saying that's happening. She said it was happening in the emergency room part, where they did have to seclude her because she was being very disruptive. So, but she saw it very differently, and I think it was very scary for her. And she's holding on to that. She's obsessing about that little piece of it. But she feels safe where she's at now. I talked to the nurse again that I talked to the other night, and she was like, yeah, she says she misses you. I think you should talk to her. So I did. I called her back. Unfortunately, my phone I get so many spam calls, so I had paid to have like these spam calls go straight to voicemail. And unfortunately, when that happens, when my daughter calls from the resident's phone, I don't hear it. It goes straight to voicemail. So I always have to call her back. But when I did call her back, it was kind of like I was so excited, and then it was kind of like a kick in the face, because she didn't want to talk to me. She said it's my fault she's in there, that I'm the guardian. She wanted to unguardian me, and she didn't want to talk. Goodbye. And I was like, okay. I said, you called me, so I was just calling you back. And she's like, well, I don't want to talk to you. So that's okay. That was that. And I haven't heard anything today. We just had that meeting today where it was like an hour of the same thing. I feel like it's the same plan. They're like, well, we're going to put a plan in place to be, when we see her starting to go through mania, we'll be quicker about, they're putting together a safety plan, or a plan that should have already been in place, which I guess what I got out of the meeting, I am grateful that they have tried, but it's not working and nothing is really changing. They're not telling us any significant change that's going to make this any better. Today is one of the clinician, that's what it is. I always say social worker, but it's the clinician's last day. So they don't have a clinician, and then the other guy quit that's supposed to be like helping them with getting into programs and things like that. So they don't have a program director per se. So we don't have, it's not like I came out of that meeting feeling wonderful. Do I feel grateful that she has a place to go that's not a homeless shelter? Yes. So, I mean, I guess it is worst case scenario, but it's just going to be the same old thing, I'm afraid, if she does go back there. So we're going to try to get the hospital social worker to keep looking. And they know that she isn't, they know they're not the right placement for her, but like they said, it's hard to find that placement. So they're going to continue to look. If she does end up back there, it's going to be under the guise that they're going to look for another better suited place for her. So all in all, I guess, what more can we ask for at this point? I would think we're a lot more fortunate than a lot of people, but it's really from being vigilant. Yeah, I can't talk. It's just being vigilant and keeping up and keeping the communications open and just making sure that you're advocating, and you have to be that voice. You have to keep being the voice, or the person's going to get forgotten about, I'm afraid, and that's what happens way too often. So yeah, I was a very quiet, meek kind of person until all of this, and I'll tell you, it really has motivated me to be much more of an advocate. So, all right, I gotta run into work. Now I'm a minute late. See you later.